Hello and welcome to video 4. In this video, we will overview resources for supporting people with pension credit and accessing pension credit online. Disclaimer, we do not recommend one app or website over another and appreciate that there are many options available to online users. Your use of an app or website is at your own discretion and we cannot be held responsible for any issues encountered through a participant's usage. All information included in these videos is correct as of November 2024. Within these videos, we refer to digital skills needed to access pension credit services. Many of these digital skills are transferable to different digital tasks, which can help support an individual's confidence of being online. For further information about pension credit, please contact the Pension Credit Helpline, telephone 0800 99 1234 with option 2 for Welsh language, or text phone 0800 169 0133. There is also some accessibility methods to access the Pension Credit Helpline as well, which will be outlined in the resource document. Where to start then? So in this session, we are going to do some screen shares of some examples of these web pages. But overall, for general use, the pension credit web page listed on the government's website is the best place to start to find out useful information. This gives you contents, overview, eligibility, what you'll get, how to claim. It'll give you information about reporting a change of circumstance and that sort of information. It's a good starting point, and there's some nice key pages of information on there. There is also a detailed guide to pension credit available online, and this is for advisors and those in positions of supporting others. All of the links we talk about today will be on the resource document also. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to jump over to my web browser and show you what the pension credit web page looks like. So you should see the pension credit webpage, and as you can see on the contents, we've got an overview, we've got eligibility, what you'll get, how to claim, and we can go through these and you'll see there's just the information that you need laid out for you to read through, and it'll give you information of other help you can get if you get pension credit as well. So go on next to go through the different pages. Talking about eligibility, talking about income, what counts as income, what does not count as income, and other information as well. And we'll go to next, and you can see what you'll get. So effectively, this is what the web page looks like, and this is what to expect when it comes to starting off looking at these web pages. So let me go back on my presentation. Now, a good place to start, and perhaps a next step for someone who is, learning the skills to access pension credit online and submit an application, is to perhaps use the pension credit eligibility calculator. This is a useful calculator tool to inform users of their eligibility. Pension credit claims are dealt with on a case-by-case basis by an advisor once a claim is submitted officially. And therefore, someone you may be supporting may be eligible for pension credit, even if the calculator states they are not. And that's because the calculator is a little bit of a blunt instrument. It just uses the facts, the information that's presented to it, and it gives you an overview of eligibility. But if you're unsure, contact the claim line on 0800 99 1234. Now, let's have a look at that pension credit calculator, just to give you an idea of what to expect. And like I said, this is actually a really good tool to use as a next step for someone learning the skills and inputting information, because now we're on the government webpage and we're actually using one of the input tools. So this is the calculator. It looks as so, and it'll be available on that workbook as well. But let's go on start now. So it'll give you some basic questions to start with. I'm going to run through this whole process. I'm going to do it quite quickly, and I'm going to give some basic answers as well. So as you can see, I'm just answering some of the questions with no, but this will have to be based on the individual answer in the questions. So I'm going through, just reading them very quickly in my head, but it's effectively asking you some eligibility criteria questions. And then once you go through these, it says you can use the pension credit calculator. That's sort of like a pre-assessment. Let's go on start now to see what the calculator looks like in action. But as you can see, it's got lots of different buttons to select. It's got some different form entry buttons. It's got sort of data inputs, it's got radial buttons, and you can continue through this process, entering information on the calculator, giving it some statistics to look at, and then it'll give you an eligibility sort of reading as to what to expect from pension credit eligibility. So I'm going to jump back onto my presentation for now. That's something that's really worthwhile exploring with people you support, having a go at it yourself beforehand, giving it to people to have a go at as well. Like I said, it's a good calculator to use anyway to see if you are eligible, but also it's that next step of practicing the skills of entering information on a form, and it's very alike what the actual pension credit application process looks like. So let's go back onto my screen share. So the application process itself. So we've said it a few times now. There is only one way to complete an online application for a pension credit, and that is by completing the online form found on the link you see on the screen. Again, this will be provided to you through the guidance document provided. But yeah, this is the key link to be aware of and to know of for an online pension credit application. So what we're going to do is we are going to jump onto that and we're going to put through information as if we are submitting an application. Now, this again is me putting information in just to fill through the application. I'm going to go through it really quickly, but that is for the purpose of showing you what to expect. When you're sitting down with someone or when someone's sitting down to enter in this information, they need to, consider all the questions, consider what answers they put, read through it thoroughly. And there's actually a review section at the end of the application process before you officially submit it. So you'll actually see your answers and you can read them back and save them as well. So it mentions, do you have this information to hand? National insurance number, details of income and pensions, details of money, savings, investments. So you should have those to hand to complete this process. Which country do you live in? How we will use your information, and then some information about getting in touch as well for help. Continue. So you put in date of birth. I'm just going to put in the information I see on the screen here because I'm giving you a demonstration. I'm not actually submitting this application. I'm giving you an example. So what is your nationality? Do you have a partner? I'm just going to say no for the purposes of this. And as I said, I'm going through this quite quickly, but it's so you can see what this application process actually looks like. So I'm going to say I'm receiving state pension. So what bank or building society? So I'm just going to use HSBC. Have you been outside the UK for a period of more than 4 weeks since August 2024? I'm going to say no. Do you want us to consider backdating your application to the 14th of August? Yes. What is your national insurance number? Again, I'm going to put in just a basic example. So I'm going to put in just a demonstration one. So name. Just a example name off the top of my head. Are you registered blind or severely sight impaired? Are you currently staying in hospital as an inpatient? Have you had any overnight stays in hospital between those dates? Do you live permanently in a care home? What is your home postcode? Again, I'm going to put in a demonstration postcode. So I can continue with this process, find address. Are you responsible for paying the rent or council tax for the place where you live? Which best describes the place where you live? So I'm just going to say I own it for the purposes of this. Do you pay any service charges? Do you pay ground rent? Do you have a mortgage or loan secured against your home? Do you have any money or income from an equity release scheme? Are you responsible for any children or qualifying young people who live with you? Does anyone else who is over 18 live with you? Does anyone get carer support payment? Have you applied for any benefits that you're waiting to hear about? Do you have any income from employment? Have you had any income from self-employment since 14th of May 2024? Non-UK pensions. Have you paid into any non-UK pensions? UK personal pensions not taken yet. So I'm going to say no for that. Any regular income and payments. So I'm going to say no to that. Obviously, with these answers, I'm going through them quite quickly, but you can see there's lots of information on the screen that sort of defines what they mean in the question as well. So it's really important to take the time to read through these. Tell us what accounts or investments you have. You want us to consider your application from 14th of August. Money you have today, I'm just going to put in basic example. Again, like I said, you can modify these afterwards. We now need to know about the money you had on the 14th of August. So do you own any property or land other than the home you live in? Your nationality. Do you have the right to live or work in the UK without immigration restrictions? Have you permanently lived in the UK for the last 6 months? Which of these best describes you? And in this section, it's quite interesting because you can say you're applying for pension credit for yourself, but there's also your friend or family who is helping the applicant make their application. You have power of attorney. You work for a charity organisation that is helping the applicant make their application. You've been appointed by DWP to deal with the benefits of someone who cannot manage their own affairs. You're a corporate acting body for the applicant. You are a personal acting body for the applicant, someone else. And if you put someone else, you can put in your relationship to the applicant. So yeah, there's a lot of different options here, potentially people who may be supporting others to get online. So the quickest way for DWP to contact you is by phone. Do you have a contact telephone number? You could put yes by here and enter in that information now. And you could put no for the purposes of this demonstration. What language you want to speak in. And if you put other, you can select the language. Do you need us to use any different formats when we contact you by letter or phone? So Braille, large print, text phone. What address should you send letters to? You can just say your home address. Or it's up to you what you say, really. Should we send an email to confirm you've submitted an application? You can say yes here if you wanted to and put in an email address, and that will give you a confirmation of the application being submitted. And that's an optional thing to do. I'm just going to put no for the purpose of the demonstration. And as I said, you can check your answers before sending your application. So as you can see, I've gone through all those questions now. And I can change every single answer on here if I need to. So this is a good point to review it. And if we scroll down the screen, see all the answers I've put in. Keep on going. You can print your answers or save a copy of your answers as well. So if you wanted to print off your answers for a reference, some people like to do that, or save the answers as a PDF document to your device, you've got these options to do that. Then you would press the continue button to go to a submission page and then submit the pension credit application. And that is the process for submitting a pension credit application online. Now, mine was a whistle-stop tour of that, but I'm sure you can appreciate that, you know, there's lots of things and information to read as you go through that process. So having the time to do that is really key. Taking your time to do that is really key. Let's just pop my presentation back on the screen. So support and safeguarding. Always protect your personal details and share good practice to the individuals you support. It's important to abide by your organisation's safeguarding policy and standards regarding personal information and online accounts. There are websites available, more information in our accompanying resource document as well, around information to support people with getting online, and that refers to Citizens Advice, Age UK and Turn to Us. So in conclusion, in this video series, we have explored supporting someone to access pension credit online. It is important to focus on the essential digital skills that are transferable to many different online activities to build individual confidence for accessing important services online. New skills are not developed overnight, and a process for ongoing support should be considered. Consider barriers that may prevent someone from getting online and utilise support networks to overcome them. Utilise the pension credit support services linked within this video and the written resources when providing support to someone who needs to make a pension credit claim. That draws us to a close for video 4 and the video series. Thank you for watching.